Amphitheater continuing to provide critical care out here. Are we on board? Okay. Line up on the bird.
We got the second one already signed.
Actually, wait, hold on. Captain, y'all can stay and we'll line them up on this side.
Clarify that.
Right, handle the flaps right here. 0915. 085.
We provide air medevac services to cover the CSTX here in Hunter Liggett and down in Camp Roberts, picking up patients and patient transfers from caches, and transporting medical personnel and supplies throughout the whole area. I think we have like 5 or 6 different FOBs. And that's pretty much our role, and provide in-flight care with our combat medics, paramedics. It definitely looks like a coalition force when people come to the aircraft to extract patients. So far it's been good because the whole exercise has been designed to go from a crawl, walk, run phase. We started when we first got here just doing cold and hot load training, getting the ground crews familiar with the helicopter and how we want them to work with our medics on the helicopter, and then from there we started doing patient transfers, landing at their cache and taking them to a different one. And right now we're about up to on-site, what we call a point of injury. So we'll go to an intersection where there'd be a simulated rollover or combat injuries, and land and pick them up on site outside the wire, and then take them to the nearest cache from there. Depending on the terrain and how isolated our troops get, then they could become extremely important and be the difference between life and death. In a mountainous terrain like this, it can take a Humvee or an ambulance maybe an hour or plus to get on site, whereas it takes us just a few minutes. So that time is absolutely critical in serious injuries.
The unit's role is to provide medical evacuation.
The Army's the only branch in the United States military and probably in the world that provides dedicated medevac aviation platform. So the company's role here is to support the hospital units and the ground units that are out here doing the CSTX, have them help integrate us into the system, because overseas that's what happens is when somebody gets hurt or is ill or is injured, we go out and pick them up. Another thing that we get to do with the ground units here is aircraft safety. A lot of these guys have not deployed, and even if they have, they might not have had any experience with the aircraft and how to approach them, how to deal with them. Our aircraft is actually one of the newer ones, so we have a different loading platform. It's not that a lot of people definitely haven't seen, so it's good to go out there and teach them what the old way is, what the new way is, what the new aircraft looks like, and to be safe around the aircraft and how to get their friends, if they need to, overseas out in a hurry when they're injured. Me personally, I'm a flight medic. On the civilian side, I'm a paramedic, so I luckily bring a lot of experience there. I have deployed as a flight medic, so for the unit and for the exercise, I hope I bring some experience to make sure that everybody gets some type of learning out of the exercise. I was here last year, and the experience this time is a lot different than last time. So it's a dynamic situation. But I think for a lot of people that haven't, for our guys and the guys on the ground that haven't been involved in anything like this, it's a good experience. It's a good way to start warming up to the concept of combat operations and medical evacuation during combat operations. It's a good thing to try to get all the services together, since we all have the same training and know the same stuff. In terms of, if you're medical, if you're ambulance, if you're a ground, some type of ground MOS, or whatever the Navy calls it. But it actually works out really well. Every time I've gone out to one of the FOBs and unloaded, I've seen that everybody works hand in hand, and there's good communication and it's a good integration. So I think it's a really good way to prepare the force for the future, where everybody works together and does the same job.